What is pimping the press line?
It's an unfortunate term. Over the years, I've had to walk down red carpets with people, to go into the Academy Awards, the Grammy Awards, the MTV Awards, you name the award show, you name the red carpet, and I've walked it with clients. When you walk it with a famous client, you don't have a problem. You just walk down the row and there are 5,000 photographers and reporters on either side saying, we want to take a picture, we want to do the interview, we're live to Australia, would you please come into the ET booth, would you Access Hollywood wants to see, all of that stuff. That's easy. It's not all that easy because you only have 20 minutes to get into the venue, and if you did all that stuff, it would take 2.5 hours. So you got to really say, we only have a minute and a half, and maybe we can't say good morning Manila, and maybe we can't do the station IDs, and there's a little bit of that. However, walk the red carpet with somebody who's not that well known. You've just signed a client. In my case, I've just signed a client, an actor and actress. They may have appeared in 1 or 2 television shows or 1 or 2 movies. And I think it would be great exposure for them to appear at an award show and afterwards go to the Elton John party or the Vanity Fair party or some major thing for them to get publicity and attention, to meet some of the power players and the producers and the casting people, to introduce them to publishers of magazines, to help perpetuate their dream.
Heather, Shay, Mark Bell, and Nikki, who was the 2011 Pet of the Year with Mark Bell, one of the investors of this fabulous show.
Well, you get out of the limousine, you start walking down the carpet. Here's advice 1. Do not stand behind Angelina Jolie. Have somebody on the carpet, an associate of mine, with a cell phone. I'm in the car with the client, and I say, okay, tell me when there's an opening. And we'll keep circling until there's a quiet spot on the carpet. In the last 15 minutes, that's when all the biggies arrive. You want to avoid that. You don't want to show up at the beginning of the red carpet because that looks like you're hungry. But is there a point between star A and star B where the person says, get that car here right now, it is a quiet moment, it is live right now on ABC or NBC, get here. You circle it, and you put the person on the carpet at the right time, you get into the car, you hope she followed your advice in terms of wearing the right dress, having the right makeup, the right hair. I spend a lot of time advising clients as to what to wear, how to look. I specialize in makeovers and sound bites and how to appear on television and how to look and how to, all that stuff. If you find yourself getting out of the car and at that exact moment a biggie appears, you put your client in front of the paparazzi, who are snapping pictures, and you've got 20 or 30 seconds, and you run ahead to CNN, Access, ET, any one of the 50 that are online and say, I got so-and-so with me, got so-and-so. She just did such and such movie. Good for 10 seconds, good for 30 seconds, want a bite? That's called pimping the press line. And what you're hoping is at that moment, the reporter is going to say, well, don't have anybody else, got a minute break. let's try it out. The actress looks beautiful. The actor looks handsome. I heard they have a record coming out. Don't want to miss the opportunity. I'll take it. Or they do this.
Literally.
Literally. Sometimes worse. Sometimes not interested. Sometimes yesterday's news.
Oh boy.
Don't care. Sometimes they're kind. Elliot, for you, sure. But it's going to be 15 seconds. It's going to be fast.
Well, I hope they never do this in front of the earshot of the client. That's why you're ahead of them. So if the answer is no,
Run ahead of the client. So as soon as you get one, you grab the client from the paparazzi. You say, "Thank you all very much for taking the picture," and you put them in that spot. Now, when they're in that spot and the light's on them and they're being interviewed by somebody, you jump ahead to the next person on the line and say, "Look, she'll be through in 10 seconds with MTV. Would VH1 like to talk with her?" It's the 100th monkey theory, which is a complex thing that I'll explain on a different occasion, but when enough people feel the same way about the same thing, everybody feels the same thing. I've done Pimping the Press Line, where when we get out of the car, nobody knows who I'm with or cares. But if there are enough flashbulbs going off and there are 2 or 3 one-on-one interviews, then the 8th, 9th, 14th, and 27th person is doing this. So, Pimping the Press Line basically means trying to engender attention for your client, even though the client might not be all that worthy of that attention at that moment. On certain occasions, I've been lucky, and the result of the exposure has resulted in them getting more work and more coverage. And I've had a few lines where I got this: "Don't care, keep walking."
That's brutal. That must be very brutal.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. There's a much more of a strategy to it than I ever imagined. In other words, I didn't realize the planning and the execution and the guy on the phone and the driver.
There's more. There's Pimping the Press Line umbrella, chapter 2. I've got this client. She's going to break news tonight. I bet you've heard the rumors. She's going to tell you the truth. She's going to say something that's just going to electrify you. You're going to get it first. You want to take it? Want to do the gamble? And all this has to be done in a matter of 3 or 4 seconds. And never let them see you sweat.